Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're gonna be talking about demons and shinobis. So let us begin. So, we now currently see our boy Izuku as he's currently in a standoff between him and this mysterious woman. As Daidoji would say this, so, you must be my teacher's son, she would say. As he would say this. Wait, teacher, who are you talking about? As she would say this. Well, isn't that obvious? As she would look towards him, as she would basically, have that steely glare, but not enough to look like it's, she actually hates him. She would say, Curious sensei, she would say. As when he heard that, he would say, Great. Another one of that stupid old man's students or whatever. What do you want, he would say. As she would say this. Well, I merely just want to have a fight, she would say. I want to see how strong my sensei son is, she would say. As Izuku would just look at her as he would just look. He would just look at her just like, why? Also, I can literally kill you. As while he was, looking at her, he would just speak up as he would say, Alright, first of all, not interested. Second of all, fuck off. Third of all, I am not doing that, he would say. As he would just look at her with just obvious, not even interested, eyes. As she would just say, Very well then. Guess I'll just have to force it, she would say. As she would just rush towards him with getting ready for a swing at his, ribs, as Izuku would dodge it away. As he would say, Guess you really are going to be persistent. Very well then. But I won't be fighting you, he would say. As he would snap his fingers, as he would say these names. As he would say this, Come forth, Ippon Datara! He would say, as Ippon Datara would come out of his, phone. As he would get ready his hammer, as he would say this. Another one, he would say. As he would say this, once again, specifically our boy Izuku. As he would say this, Come forth, Saparna! He would say, as the large bird would basically appear. As he would get ready to attack her, as she would say, So that's your powers, eh? Your technique. Are you some sort of summoner? As he would say this. I guess you can say that. But I prefer to more or less say, as he would get ready his fists, as he would say this. Let's just say I'm much more of a brawler than anything else. Well, sometimes a swordsman, but you basically get the idea, he would say. As he would say this. Now, Saparna, he would say. As after saying that, he would say, Saparna, Herculean strike, he would say. As after saying that, Saparna would get ready his legs, as he would stomp it onto the ground, causing a massive, not really massive, but more like a small earthquake, causing her to fall out of her feet. As she would try to get up, as Izuku would say this. After, doing so, she would, get ready to attack, as Izuku would say this. Now, Ippon Datara, as he would say, Modun, or Modun. As after saying that, he would get ready his, clippers, or whatever you want to call it. Actually, is it called a vice? I can't remember the actual name of those, tongs or whatever. For, for hammering, or for forging. After doing so, he would clap them down, causing a dark aura to surround her. After seeing it, she would try to dodge it away, but her hand would, or at least her, her hand would basically get caught into the crossfire, causing it to feel like it's burning, as she would say, what the heck was that, she would say, as he would say this. Like it? This is the power of a demon, he would say. As after saying that, he would say this. Now it's my turn, he would say. As he would get ready his hand, or at least his, his prosthetic hand, as he would say this. As Izuku would raise up his hand, as he would say, now, Hamadine, he would say. As after saying that, a large ring of light would basically start appearing around her. As she would say, "Great, not again," she would say, as she would try to, jump out of the way, as she would try to launch herself at Izuku, as she would say this. Really think that you can actually try and hurt me here, he would say, as he would say this. Now, cleave. As after saying that, he would, get ready his hand, almost similar to a blade, and would basically chop her right across the chest. As she would say, as blood would start coming out of her mouth, as she would say, "Dang, you're strong," she would say. "Now my turn," she would say. As Izuku would say this. "Try if you can," he would say. As you'd say, "Ippon Datara," he would say. As Ippon Datara would gets ready for his master's command. As you'd say, "Now." As he would say this, "Now, Terakaja!" As after saying that, he would get ready his hammer as he would slam it down nearby, or at least, near where Daidoji was. After doing so, she would feel like her body is starting to feel weak, as she would say, "Why do I feel so tired?" she would say, as she would try to attack him once again, but her attack seemed to be a much more weaker than usual, as she'd say, "What? Why is it not hurting you?" she would say, as she would be hitting, up, where his chest is, or at least his the left part of his chest, as you'd say, "Pathetic," he would say, as he would say this. "Now, just drop dead," he would say, as he would basically, a spin kick or causing it to be launched into a tree. Wait for a second. As after she just got, slammed into like a nearby tree, she would say, "Dang, you're strong." As after saying that, he would say this. Yeah, whatever. What do you want exactly? Do you just wanted me to fight you? Are you that much of a masochist or something?" he would say. As she would say this. "Well, not really," she would say, as she would basically, get off the ground, or at least get off from her, seeing position, as she would say this. "Well, well, when I heard that that, that Kiryu Sensei had a son, I really wanted to test how strong he is," she would say. As she would, be that, how do I say it? Like, holding up her, like her stomach where she got, sliced. As after saying so, Izuku would just look at her as you would say this. "So you're just a masochist," he would say. As she would say this. No, I'm not doing it like that or anything. I just wanted to test out how strong you are." And also, she would say, "And you surely impressed me. Though I'm surprised that you're not a ninja. I mean, well, I did hear about how you, well, as you'd say, yeah. You wonder why I don't want to become a ninja. Oh wait, I was basically fucking abandoned." As after saying that, she would say, "I see. Wait for a second." So, when Daidoji said that, he would say, yeah. Duh. Still don't know why people want to, either want me to join their stupid ninja club or whatever. And I still don't care. So, you just wanted me to fight you? Then why do you accomplish this? Why do you plan on accomplishing this in the first place? As she would say this. Well, I just wanted to see how strong you are. I also wanted to see if you can be my student, she would say. Silence, just absolute fucking silence. "What?" Izuku would just, exclaimed, as, Ippon Datara and Soprano would just look at her, as Ippon Datara would say this. "You seriously want to train him? I mean, he's already strong enough that it is. He's already strong enough that is. Strong enough as is, I meant." As Soprano would say this. "Yes, master." God, I'm still working on this voice specifically for Soprano. Sorry. Wait. Okay, so, yeah, master's already super strong, that is. So it doesn't matter if he's really, needs training or anything. Ah, as after saying that, also, by the way, horrible attempt. Anyway, continue on. As Izuku would say this. Yes, I don't need training from some masochistic delinquent whatever, he would say. As she would say this. Seriously, kid. As she would basically walk up to him, as she would say this. I heard stories about you. You basically killing God or whatever. But honestly, I don't care. But I am. Wait for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on with this episode. As after saying that, he would say this. You really want to train me? Just, you're just so annoying, you would say. As she would say this. Come on. Besides, you really need to benefit from this. And also, having a cool teacher like me would make sense for you, she would say, as you'd say this. Sorry, but I already have enough cool teachers as is, he would say. As while they were continuing talking, they would notice that a few people would arrive, being that of Team Hanzo. As, the girls would say this, specifically all of the girls of Team Hanzo. Wait, Daijoji-san? Or Daijoji-sama? As after saying that, Izuku would say, wait, you know her? He would say, as one of them would say this. Yeah, she's basically one of the best ninjas ever. Or at least currently. Said, one of them being that of Asuka. As Kiryu would say this. It's been a while, Daijoji. As after saying that, she would say this. Been a while, sensei, she would say. So, your son is quite talented, she would say. As after saying that, he would say, yeah, though he's still, well, as she would say, yeah, I heard. Apparently some of the people in the higher ups, or at least some of the higher ups heard about you and your son. More specifically, how he's that powerful and is currently working for some demon, eliminating group or something. As Izuku would say this. It's called Demon Liberators, you damn bastard, you would say. As after saying that, she would say, yeesh, you don't need to be that mean. As he would say, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Whatever. As he would just look away from them. As, he would basically bring back both, Soprana and also, Ippon Datara back to his phone. As one of them would say this. So what are you doing here, Daidoji? Sama? Wait for a second. Specifically our girl, our girl Ikagura. As she would say this. Well, I'm just here to try and test out how powerful he is. And I'm also, planning on maybe making him my student, she would say. All of the girls would just be surprised as they would say, wait, your student? Him? Said one of them being that of Yagyu, as one of them would say this, no! As everybody would look at who was saying that, being that of Katsuragi. As, after saying that, she would say, what? She would say. As one of them would say this. Seriously? Said, a somewhat annoyed, Ikagura. As Daijoji would say this. As she would say this. Either way, she would say, as she would look towards Izuku, as she would say this. So, Izuku, I keep asking you this. I want you to join me and become my student. And because the higher ups also want you to join as well, considering that you're going to be a great ally to us. As Izuku would say this, like hell that's gonna happen. Like, unless if my superiors can allow me to do that or force me to, I am not doing that shit, he would say. As she would say this. I guess you can tell the higher ups to tell your higher ups about this. As you'd say, wait, what? As she would say this. Well, we are sort of now allied with, the demon erasers, or it's demon liberators, you dumbass, he would say. As she would say this. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, as she would say this. See you later, she would say. As she would basically jump away. Basically like going through the trees like Naruto, basically. After that, everybody would just, look at Izuku, as Izuku would say this. What the fuck am I getting into this shit exactly, he would say. And so, this is where we're gonna be ending off this episode. So, yeah. So, bye bye.